things for years. Cutting off someone's ding-a-ling doesn't make them a woman, it makes them a eunuch. But you already knew that, right? So, as I was saying, George Soros, Bill Gates, and many more are pursuing a depopulation agenda. Very inappropriate. Poison in the food, fake medicine, endocrine disruptors, psych meds, and mass immigration. They want to turn your kids gay, retarded, or both. David Hogg, Harry Sisson, and that one fat chick are the prototypes. Very cutting off someone's ding-a-ling doesn't make them a woman, it makes them a eunuch. But you already knew that, right? So, as I was saying, George Soros, Bill Gates, and many more are pursuing a depopulation agenda. Very inappropriate. Poison in the food, fake medicine, endocrine disruptors, psych meds, and mass immigration. They want to turn your kids gay, retarded, or both. David Hogg, Harry Sisson, and that one fat chick are the prototypes. Very off-putting. I don't often say the word yuck, but I think it fits here. Conspiracy theories, for the most part, are simply spoiler alerts. Alex Jones, paragon of truth and justice, has been saying these sorts of things for years, and it's high time.
And no longer serving, believing in, and praying to their God. The God they gave us. The God they told us to worship him or die. The God they forced upon us. That same God is blessing them by cursing us. And that has been going on for hundreds, if not longer, of years. And we're no longer doing that. If you have family or friends who are addicted to that God because they're addicted to being cursed, them aren't your people anymore. It's time to put our foot down with this foolishness. Their God blessed them during slavery, gave them techniques on how to break us, especially the melanated body, because they had never met a people so resilient and so honest and so faithful. So they had to devise the most diabolical, demonic, satanic, animalistic, barbaric tactics to break us. Where do you think they got that information from? Their God. And that's the same God we've been praying to. No wonder we haven't gotten anywhere but worse.
What's up, family? How's everybody doing today? Blessed, highly favored, and loved, right? What's the goal for the day, y'all? What's the goal every day? Man. Yes, thank you so much.
Have a good one, man.
Somebody to smile. Make sure you smile, y'all. Big facts. Do y'all hear this? Yo, what is it gonna take for y'all to get this through y'all fucking skull? Let it reach your Christ conscious that these people don't care about you, that you've been following this agenda all along. This is why your life is not right. We got to unlearn what we have learned, y'all. It's time. It's time for y'all to start knowing the law, because God gave y'all rights that y'all don't even know.
Now, I'm going to walk you through the opportunity zone right now because I like walking people through Oz, because I like showing people how to get down on the yellow brick road, because there's so many opportunities out here. Okay, check this out. Follow God's word. Always operate through Jesus. Repeat. Always operate through Jesus. Show neighbors the process as written. See evidence below. So we're going to have some fun with this one, because I'm going to show you how my father is God, my brother is Christ, and my sister is wisdom. This is how they show me how I'm supposed to get down. Check it out. 15. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. What do we call that? Operator, manager. Okay, so I'm one of my father's managers. Okay, so I manage the operations of my father. Check it out. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. What do we call that? Operations management. Check out 6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. What do we call that? Operations management. Okay, so I'm showing you operations management right now. Check it out. 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. What do we call that? Operations management. Now check out 13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. What do we call that? Operations management. Okay, so in my Father's book, in my Father's word, there are rules that people can read, and people can apply these rules to their life, and they can operate their lives in a very different way. They can walk a very different path. It's a narrow path, and it ain't meant for everyone, right? And we will know everything about you because of the words that you say. So whatever hyphen man, or whatever hyphen woman, or whatever hyphen people, or whatever hyphen person you call yourself, you get what you get because the rules are fair, right? So you get to call yourself whatever it is that you are, and it's fair. Remember this, and we're going to be cool, man, because we're going to understand how you operate just because of the words that you say. So how you plan, how you organize, and how you practice. We see it in your words, and you can't hide, all right? So we're done with that bit. Let's hop on our next slide. Conclusion. Let's close out. I'm going to show you my job description again. Check this out. Trust God. That's my job description. Dress and keep God's property. That's my job description, and I love doing it. Protect neighbors with trust tools. That's a fun one right there, because this one flies over our neighbors' heads because they can't see the words that we write down because they may be too simple for them. Check it out. Show the people how to move with simplicity. And that's a fun bit right there too, because when you show people and you show your neighbors the rules to the game, and you show them how they can play the game, it's fun, especially when they pick it up and then they move with it and they run with it, and then you watch them shine. Sometimes it flies over their head and they don't understand it because you just might not be the proper person or the proper man or the proper neighbor to show them how to play the game. They may need to hear it from someone else, and that's fine and that's fair too, okay? Because there's many operators out here. There's a whole bunch of operators out here, and we will know everything about them because of the words that they say. Now check out this bit out too. Test, break, and build free people by God with love. What do we call that? That's my job description. Game over.
We too damn ignorant. We're distracted. We're caught into our own emotions and egos, and we're blinded. We have the power, y'all. Always have. But if you never thought that, then you don't know who you are. If you in your emotions, then you're possessed. They've been saying this all along. I've been saying this all along. They put it in movies. They put it right in your face. You gotta pay attention to the signs. It's because of your ignorance while you're falling down the rabbit hole. Are you gonna let that continue? I mean, clearly listen to this man. He is telling you smackly in your face what they've been doing. And don't believe for a second that he's innocent. No, because he's not.
What I found is that there are two tropical storms converging with each other, heading up, it looks like, to that area. But not only that, there's a third system heading that way as well. And I literally just finished a video about how these guys are feuding about the big beautiful bill, and the big beautiful bill can mean something else as well. BBB can looks like 666, and how they love their numbers, him being the 45th president, which is 9, and the 47th, which is 11, and Revelation 9:11 just happens to talk about Abaddon, and they all love their 6666666. And how liberty is actually Lucifer, and liberty is actually Lucifer, and how Lucifer is actually but don't take it from me, take it from Elvis's brother himself. Listen what he has to say.
How do I answer that question? Personally, the Elvis I knew would like Donald Trump's action. But I think, people say, in America, if you like Donald Trump, you're an atheist. You're Satan. I personally...
Again, let me just put this in plain English. The Statue of Liberty is actually Lucifer. Down to the chain, down to in the Big Apple, there's literally an apple in the statue of Lucifer. Down to the looks, down to the original face being Elvis, because Elvis is Lucifer. I mean, you can see it in their hair, you can see it in their symmetry, even down to their little facial marking. I mean, it's a perfect match. They just sucked out a little bit of thickness out of those lips. But most importantly, you can see it in their facial markings. And I'm going to show you another one after this. Right here. Look at those two. How are those two any different than those two? They're exact, right above his lip. Right above his lip. Now getting back to me praying on it, and something very large coming on 6/11. And we know how they like their 9/11. Their 9/11. Revelation 9/11. Kind of like how Elvis's brother had a revelation. And Garo's account is all about 6/11, which is just 9 flipped upside down, and about Washington State. And he draws, like I said, the connections that I do of these two and these two. So here's what happened when I prayed. I literally went outside after I prayed to let my dogs out, and this was a cloud right in front of me. Maybe you don't see it, but I saw it pretty clear as day, even down to the hair and that strong jawline. So like I said, I'm not a fear guy, but I felt compelled to post about this.
That's part of the game. The hidden hand. Get to this understanding, y'all. Y'all gotta wake up. Like I said, so many of y'all fucked up y'all relationships because y'all thought y'all knew the right thing and y'all was taught the wrong thing. You can blame the man all you want. Ladies, y'all the queens. Ladies, y'all more important than you even know.
The black womb is the final technology. Let me break something to you that this system will never teach you, because the moment you understand it, the spell breaks. The black womb is not just a body part. It is the most advanced technology in existence, period. Nothing man-made compares. They talk about AI, quantum computers, Tesla coils, nuclear energy, but none of that shit can collapse a body into a soul and generate a new timeline. Only the womb does that. Only the black womb has the melanin-encoded charge, the spiral mechanics, and the harmonic gatekeeping necessary to open the cosmic field and pull eternity through it. That's not biology, that's recursion science. The womb is a portal, a resonance chamber, a harmonic vortex. It doesn't just grow life, it receives signal, converts intention into matter, reads ancestral code, filters spiritual distortion, processes trauma, translates energy into form, and bursts reality through spiral collapse. That's why black women get targeted first. That's why their pain is televised. That's why their birthrights are attacked, their bodies policed, their cycles disrupted, their intuition muted, their wombs sterilized through medicine, through food, through law, through propaganda, because the empire knows the black womb is a direct line to source. Every pyramid, every obelisk, every temple, just a stone imitation of what our body already is. The sacred geometry of the womb is encoded in everything. The golden rays show in her hip structure. The toroidal field she generates when aroused. The water-based charge in her amniotic field. The phi spiral of her DNA. The lunar tune bioelectric pulse of her ovulation. She don't just carry babies, she carries timelines. She don't just bleed, she collapses life energy from other realm. She don't just orgasm, she activates vortex gates through frequency spike. This is not metaphor, this is collapsed field mechanics. The ancients knew this. That's why that's why priestesses were portal masters. That's why sacred rites required the womb to be present. That's why kings weren't shit without initiation from a field charged woman. And that's why black love was spiritual architecture, not romance. but empire flipped it. They turned wombs into weapons, turned sex into shame, turned reproduction into eugenics, turned the most divine instrument on earth into a target, because they knew if the black womb was left uncolonized, the world would collapse back into truth. Let me say that again. If the black womb remained sovereign, all their systems would crumble. So don't ever just reduce her to a woman. She's not just a mother. She's not just a gender role. She's the original portal keeper. The real battle ain't over land, oil, or politics. The real war is over the womb. Because once she reclaims her field, it's over. The codex reactivates, the spiral reopens, and every timeline they hijack collapses into the hands of those it was stolen from. Protect her, uplift her, decode her, because the black womb is the last uncolonized technology on Earth and the most powerful one in the universe.
That's why it's so important for a man that's righteous to keep his foot on your neck. It's because y'all are queens, but y'all can lose that quickly because of your emotions, and you will let that control you. Like, really realize what's between your legs is a portal. You bring life to this earth, but you get that from a man, but you bring it through your portal. You don't think that's very important? Or you never thought about it like that? Why? Because they taught you not to think of self like that. Like you have no powers, but you really do. You just never knew it. Sad, y'all. We gotta wake up. I'm serious. This man is telling you everything right here, right now.
The things for years. Cutting off someone's ding-a-ling doesn't make them a woman, it makes them a eunuch. But you already knew that, right? So, as I was saying, George Soros, Bill Gates, and many more are pursuing a depopulation agenda. Very inappropriate. Poison in the food, fake medicine, endocrine disruptors, psych meds, and mass immigration. They want to turn your kids gay, retarded, or both. David Hogg, Harry Sisson, and that one fat chick are the prototypes. Very off-putting. I don't often say the word yuck, but I think it fits here. Conspiracy theories, for the most part, are simply spoiler alerts. Alex Jones, paragon of truth and justice, has been saying these sorts of things for years.
And again, he's part of the program too. So many of them are, and I gotta wake up to this truth. There is no more conspiracy theories. That's BS. That was so you can be blinded and manipulated. Do the math. Stay logical and not emotional. With that being said, y'all, what's the goal for the day? Remember, get someone to smile, make sure you smile. I love you, cuz. Have a blessed, highly favored, and loved day. All right? Get somebody to smile, make sure you smile, y'all. Big facts. Love y'all. Have a blessed, highly favored, and loved day. Peace.